What if the Great War in Fallout wasn't a failure, but a decision? What if something older than the bombs was already waiting beneath the wasteland? And what if humanity's future in the Fallout universe was never meant to remain human? The year is 2077. The sirens scream, the bombs fall, and the vault doors seal. But what if the Great War wasn't the beginning of Fallout's story? What if it was the midpoint? Because across the Fallout series, from buried terminals to forgotten underground ruins, Bethesda has left many fragments of something deeper, something ancient, something intentional, and possibly something replacing us. Today, we are going to break down 3 hidden forces in Fallout lore that may have shaped the war, and what comes after it. So let's start beneath the surface. Before the war, the Dunwich company was just a company making rock drills, but Richard Dunwich used company resources to fund excavations beneath the Dunwich building itself. And what they uncovered underneath the building wasn't a resource. It wasn't military technology. It was an obelisk. An obelisk made of ancient stone, with ritual carvings and references to an entity called Qualtoth. The name itself appears nowhere else in recorded pre-war history. No academic journals, no government archives. So, if Qualtoth was fiction, why was the corporation spending so much money to dig it up? Inside the building, the visitors experience hallucinations, whispers echo in empty rooms, shadows move when nothing stands, and violence erupts without clear cause. Radiation explains many of the horrors in the Fallout universe, but radiation does explain the ritual symbols that predate the war, and it doesn't explain what lies beneath Dunwich borers in Fallout 4, because deep below the quarry, the player witnesses a vision of a pre-war figure standing in front of a ceremonial altar being prayed to by many other people. But as you go deeper into the tunnel, you'll find a carved stone that's in the shape of a face, meaning whatever they were worshipping was already there. And there's something else. At the altar, the player can retrieve a unique weapon, Frem's Tooth, a sacrificial blade associated with ritual offerings. The implication is subtle, but it suggests the entity, whatever it is, responds. Not symbolically, functionally. And if something beneath the earth can respond, then it isn't just history, it's presence. The game never confirms Qualtoth is real, but something ancient was buried beneath the earth long before 2077. Then, the Great War didn't create the horror, it revealed it. If something ancient was already waiting beneath the earth, then the apocalypse may not have been the first hidden force shaping humanity's fate. It may have been the second, because above ground, another power was preparing for the end of the world, long before the bombs ever fell. For decades, the expected explanation was simple. The United States and China escalated tensions, resources ran dry, nuclear war became inevitable. But Vault-tec was ready. Not just ready for survival, ready for experimentation. Vault 11 forced its residents to sacrifice one of their own each year. Vault 22 experimented with aggressive plant mutations. Vault 75 trained children as genetic soldiers. And Vault 81 conducted controlled disease research. These weren't accidents. They were controlled social experiments. Entire populations under stress to observe behaviour. In Fallout 4, Vault representatives are actively signing up people the morning the bombs fell.
Good morning! Vault-tec calling.
Good morning.
Isn't it? Just look at that sky out there. You can't begin to know how happy I am to finally speak with you. I've been trying for days. It's a matter of utmost urgency, I assure you.
Then I'm glad you caught up with me.
Oh, me too. You have no idea. Now, I know you're a busy fellow, so I won't take up much of your time. Time being a precious commodity. I'm here today to tell you that because of your family service to our country, you have been pre-selected for entrance into the local vault. Vault 111.
But there's room for my entire family, right?
Of course, of course. Minus your robot, naturally. In fact, you're already cleared for entrance. It's just a matter of verifying some information. Don't want there to be any holdups in the unforeseen event of total atomic annihilation. Won't take but a moment.
Sure, let's do it.
Splendid! Wonderful. That's everything. Just gonna walk this over to the vault. Congratulations on being prepared for the future.
Thanks again.
Assignments are finalized. Systems are prepared. Vault doors seal within minutes. Preparation like that doesn't look reactive. It looks anticipated. Now, to be clear, the game never confirms who's launched first. The ambiguity has always been intentional. But in the Fallout show, we see something new. Vault-tec executives discuss the possibility of triggering nuclear war themselves, if necessary, to ensure their experiments proceed. The show stops short of confirming they did, but introduces the possibility that they were willing to. If Vault-tec was willing to start the war, then the bombs weren't a tragedy. They were a requirement. If nuclear devastation was necessary to run decades-controlled human experimentation, then the war wasn't just geopolitical collapse, it was infrastructure. And if the war was required, what exactly was it meant to build? A society rebuilt from data? Population observed under controlled stress? A new model of humanity shaped by controlled variables? If Dunwich suggests something ancient beneath us, Vault-tec suggests something calculating above us. If the war wasn't random, it was engineered to reshape society, then someone had to inherit that reshaped world. And beneath the Commonwealth, someone did. In Fallout 4, the Institute creates Generation 3 synths, biologically indistinguishable from humans. They bleed, they think, and some don't even know they're synthetic. The Institute claims this is about preserving humanity, but the methods are questionable. They replace individuals on the surface, they infiltrate settlements, they operate entirely from shadows, and paranoia spreads throughout places like Diamond City. If you can manufacture a human who does not age the same way, who does not suffer diseases, whose memories can be rewritten, then what makes them less viable than natural humans? Emotion? They demonstrate it. Free will? Some synths escape. Identity? Some don't even know they aren't human. Which means the Institute didn't just create replacements, they created ambiguity. And ambiguity destabilizes societies faster than force. To be fair, the Institute never declares an extinction agenda. They claim to be preserving humanity's future. But from their perspective, the world is chaos, violent, regressive. Perhaps they don't see replacement as destruction. Perhaps they see it as an improvement. But improvement according to whose definition? When Father speaks of mankind redefined, he never clearly defines whether humanity is evolving or being replaced. So, if the surface world was considered beyond saving, then replacing individuals wouldn't just be infiltration, it would be succession. And Fallout has never shied away from quiet, long-term horror. Ancient forces beneath the earth, corporate forces engineering the apocalypse, synthetic forces redefining humanity. 3 different areas, 3 different methods, but all point towards the same unsettling idea. Fallout may not be a story about survival. It may be a story about succession and what comes after it, and whether we even get a choice in the matter. Fallout's greatest secrets are never handed to us directly. They're buried in terminals, in ruins, in offhand dialogue. Maybe something ancient survived beneath the earth. Maybe the apocalypse was engineered in a boardroom. Or maybe we're only seeing fragments of a much bigger design. So, here's the question. If you could uncover one truth in the Fallout universe, which would you choose? Would you really want to know the answer? In the Wasteland, the truth is always buried. And sometimes it was buried on purpose.